This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, July the 10th, 2001, the All-Star Game headed to Seattle. It was huge. Safeco Field just opened up a couple of years ago with their retractable roof stadium. Probably jealous of Toronto's retractable roof stadium. But regardless, this would be huge. Seattle hosting the 2001 All-Star Game. It was great to see an All-Star Game in the Pacific Northwest, and also the fact that, it didn't hurt that the Mariners were on fire in the 2001 first half of the season and trying to be a historic team. 8 Mariners were voted in. Of course, a little bit of bias, you might think. Anyway, this was also the last All-Star Game that Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn would play in. And the American League won the game 4-1. So anyway, it was a good game by all. The home run derby saw Luis Gonzalez of the Diamondbacks beat Slam and Sammy Sosa for it and all that. So the All-Star Game was huge. Now, the American League had some great players on their team, all of that. The non-starting pitchers were Freddie Garcia of the hometown Mariners, Joe Mays of the Twins, Jeff Nelson of the Mariners got in because Mo Rivera couldn't play, Eric Milton of the Twins, Troy Percival of the Angels, Kaz Sasaki of the Mariners, Andy Pettit of the Yankees, Paul Quantrill of our Blue Jays, and Mike Stanton of the Yankees. Anyway, the reserves, Jorge Posada of the Yankees, Tony Clark of the Tigers, Jason Giambi of the A's, Mike Sweetie of the Royals, Roberto Alomar for Cleveland, Troy Glaus for Anaheim, Derek Jeter of the Yankees, Christian Guzman of the Twins, Mags Ordonez for the White Sox, Bernie Williams for the Yankees, Greg Vaughn of the Devil Rays, although he got hurt, so Mike Cameron came in, so 2 Mariners got lucky on that one. The National League, their pitchers, non-starting pitchers were John Burkett, Mike Hampton, John Lieber, Matt Morris, Chandler Park, Rick Reed, Kurt Schilling, Jeff Shaw, Ben Sheets, and Billy Wagner. So anyway, Rick Reed couldn't play, but the National League put an extra reserve, and that was Cliff Floyd of the Marlins. Vladdy Guerrero, our boy from the Expos, with Brian Giles, Lance Berkman, Moises Alou, Jimmy Rollins, Phil Nevin, Albert Bull, Sean Casey, Ryan Klesko, and Charlie Johnson were the reserves. So this was huge. But the starting lineups were big. The National League went with Luis Gonzalez at center field, Todd Helton at first, Barry Bonds in left, Slam and Sammy Sosa in right. Larry Walker would be the DH because this is an American League ballpark. It was an American League ballpark, so the DH is in play. For Larry Walker, Mike Piazza at catcher, Chipper Jones at third, Jeff Kent at second, and Rich Aurelia at shortstop, with Randy Johnson, the scary-looking mofo, being the starter. And let's not forget, Randy Johnson used to be a Mariners legend. Anyway, the American League had Ichiro in center field, A-Rod playing third base. Shortstop. Manram in left, Brett Boone at second, Juan Gonzalez in right when he played for Cleveland, John Olerud at first, Edgar Martinez at DH, Cal Ripken at third base, and Pudge Rodriguez catching. So they had 4 Mariners in the starting lineup: Ichiro, Boone, Olerud, and Edgar. Roger Clemens would start for the Yankees. Well, of course, there was massive booing because Roger Clemens, even though he was pitching for the hometown American League team, got booed because of his 15 strikeout performance in the ALCS in Seattle. So, anyway. So, anyway, it was huge. Now, of course, the game started off huge as A-Rod, who was playing shortstop, who was voted in as shortstop, and told Cal Ripken, who was voted in as the AL starting third baseman, to go back to shortstop, and he would play third base. Because Ripken started his career as a shortstop primarily till 97, when he was moved to third base when Ryan Minor came in. Something like that. Anyway, it was huge and all that. Ripken did set the most MLB All-Star appearances at shortstop with 15 with that one inning. Thankfully, though, Roger Clemens pitched a good first inning, and he didn't need to take any chances. Ichiro started off the All-Star game quite well. He got a single off Randy Johnson and then stole second. Unfortunately, the AL were held in check. In the bottom of the third, Cal Ripken would face Chan-Ho Park, who allegedly grooved him a fastball, and Ripken, the man of 1,000 stances, swung one into left field. I can't remember who. I think it was Stanton, or one of the Yankee relievers who caught the ball over the left field wall. But it was easy peasy lemon squeezy and all that, making it 1-0 American League. The AL was scoring the fifth with Pudge scoring an RBI single to make it 2-0. Ryan Klesko had a sac fly for the National League. However, John Lieber gave up back-to-back home runs to Derek Jeter and Max Ordonez to make it 4-1. So after the sixth inning, Major League Baseball decided to stop the game and honor Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn because they both were planning to retire at the end of the 2001 season and give them commissioner awards and all that. It was kind of nice and all that for these two icons to be, honored. The rest of the game went without a hitch as Sasaki was the guy who saved the day. Kaz Sasaki of the Mariners got the save. Freddie Garcia of the Mariners got the win. But unfortunately, Garcia would be known for what happened the next year All-Star game, as he was the American League pitcher that shut down the National League in the 11th inning, forcing a tie game. Cal Ripken became the fourth player to get 2 All-Star Game MVP awards, but the first for the American League. But it was obvious who was going to get it. So anyway, yeah, the American League won 4-1. Now, a lot of people be thinking maybe it was a good thing for Seattle. Yeah, Seattle set a historic mark, 116 wins in the regular season out of 162 games. Now, let's put this into context. Everyone knows about the 98 Yankees. They went on only 114 games, and I got the pleasure to watch the 98 Yankees live at the Sky Dome when they took on my Blue Jays, but lost 9-3 thanks to Carlos Delgado hitting one into the 5th deck and Jose Canseco putting up a pair of home runs. Anyway, the American League did their job and all that. Seattle would win those 116 games, but unfortunately the playoffs are a different story, as they would lose to the Yankees in the ALCS again, and the Yankees would go on to lose to the Diamondbacks in the World Series in 7 games, one of the most classic World Series of all time. The fact of the matter is that, Seattle slipped a little bit afterwards. Well, of course, 2023 is when the All-Star Game has headed back to Seattle, so let's hope Seattle does better this time. Well, actually, not really. It's better. You can't improve on it. Of course, everyone knows that the 2001 season would be marred by 9/11 and all that. It was a happy time for baseball. We would not know about 9/11. Now, the fact of the matter is that, the 2001 Mariners with their 116 wins, every league, baseball, basketball, football, and hockey, their teams with the most regular season wins in a season haven't won a title. Baseball, that would be the Mariners' 116 games. Not even the Cubs, when they won 116 games in 152 attempts in 1906, did that. They lost the World Series to the hitless wonders White Sox in 6 games. But you didn't know that. Basketball, you know about Golden State's 73-win season in 2016, and then blowing that 3-1 series lead in the final against Cleveland. Well, of course, the Bulls, their 72 wins in 96. Most wins by a team that won the title. And then, of course, the 98 Yankees have the baseball mark. Football, it would be the Patriots, although Miami did go undefeated in the regular season themselves in 72, but that was only 14 games, not 16. If it was 16, I think they probably would have won 16-0. I don't know. But yeah, the Patriots were 16-0 in the regular season, lost that Super Bowl thanks to Pascal Burr's catch and Eli Manning's escapability to get that helmet catch to David Tyree. And in hockey, it was the 65-win Boston Bruins, just this past year, 2022-23. They won 65 games in the regular season. Some of them by shootouts, where in the old days you wouldn't have a shootout and all that. And they ended up flopping hard in the first round, losing. They were up 3-1 to the Panthers, and I knew Boston was going to easily take Toronto out, but I'm like, whatever. So yeah, and even before that, the '96 Red Wings and the 2019 Lightning, 62 wins. They didn't even make the finals. So that's the creepy thing, is that of the 4 major sports, hockey, the most regular season wins, the top 3 teams, they didn't even make the final. Well, the '96 Red Wings got to the conference final. The 2019 Lightning and the 2023 Bruins lost in the first round. So that's creepy. But anyway, yeah, it was a good All-Star game. I loved watching it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Dyna Duke.